What's an unspoken rule that annoys you when people don't know about it? Don't play music out loud from your mobile phones on public transportation. I get that you're going to have a boring ride, but don't ruin everyone else's. Or kids' games. Turn the volume off in the train or waiting room. Or restaurant. Standing in doorways. Go in or out, but get the hell out of the way. My cat would like a word. Tell my cat in or out at least twice a day. Let people know when you have them on speakerphone, especially when your husband or wife or partner or friend or any other human is within earshot. One of my friends is always driving his mom places, so when we call him, he very often answers through his car's Bluetooth stereo. She's a very strict and nosy lady, and every time he would mention that we were on speaker, she would get upset and think he was up to no good. So we came up with a simple system. Every time anybody in our friend group calls him, we always ask, "Can you hear me?" If he's alone, he'll just let us know. But if he's with his mom, he'll respond, "Loud and clear." We then know not to mention anything that she wouldn't like to hear. It's worked like a charm for the last 4 years. When someone hands you their phone, don't go through it. It's rude. I used to have students confirm that they all individually had the necessary lab data before they left for the evening. They would take a photo of their partner's tablets and then hand me their phones. I'd never touch them. Hands-free, I'd say. No, you scroll through your photos and show me the data. I'm not touching that. No way am I risking seeing something I don't want to. You don't need to attach yourself to the person in front of you when you're standing in a queue. Similarly, please stand behind the person. It drives me crazy when a line starts to turn into a fan shape as people inch up closer and move to the sides. Just stand in line, dude. Move your cart to the side of the aisle when looking for groceries. Don't hog up the middle. Oh, of course I'll wait for you to pick out a flavor of beans, Sharon. Take your time. Even worse, 2 people stopped in the middle of the pedestrian crossing in my supermarket car park to have a chat, with cars waiting for them. I was dumbfounded at how oblivious they were. You don't need to be this close when you're talking to me. Waiting for others to exit an elevator or train before entering. Saying thank you when someone holds a door open. 1 for 1 when merging lanes in heavy traffic. Respect people's right to say no. It's okay to ask someone for something or to do something or whatever, but if they say no, don't pester them or guilt trip them. People who pressure their friends are kind of garbage friends. One thing that annoys me is when somebody asks for something, I say no, then they say please. I didn't say no because you were rude enough to not use your manners, I said no because I didn't want to. I wonder if this is a symptom of the parenting style of no, not until you ask nicely. Not that I have a better solution. Kids are assholes that need to learn manners somehow. Cover your mouth when you sneeze. Apparently people don't know this. With your elbow, not your hand. Even my young son knows that. The first time I was told that when I was 20, my reaction was like, oh, that's not a bad idea. Stand 2 meters back from the airport baggage carousel. If everyone does it, then enters that ring to grab their luggage and leave, then everyone can see their luggage as it comes and no one is jostling. It never occurred to me until I traveled in South Korea that they had a white line around the carousel that everyone stood on. It was remarkably efficient, and I wish the rest of the world adopted it. If you see me taking off my headphones to listen and answer your question, then immediately put them on again 5 times, it clearly means that I'm just being polite. Not that I'm interested in talking to you, so stop asking me questions. Wait, I have another. You shouldn't be texting while driving. That's a given. But for the love of all that is holy, if you are the lead car at a red light, pay attention to the light. Some lights are short, and all of us need to get through it. Update Twitter later. I take my line leader duty seriously. Eat with your mouth closed. Don't immediately assume it's okay to smoke in someone's house, regardless of their living situation. I don't care if it's literally a cardboard box or an upscale mansion. Ask first. Also applies to vehicles. Came here to say this. I always ask if I can smoke in someone's car even if their car smells like smoke and the owner is a smoker. If the car smells fresh, I don't even bother asking. I just don't smoke. You only take 2 slices of pizza max until everyone has had their fill. Talking through movies. I can only say yeah and so many times. If someone is hosting you, don't insult or give a negative critique of their home. Some people have fewer resources than others, only one income to live off of, and have worked very hard to get less, etc. No need to point out home imperfections. Insane that someone would be rude enough to do this. I had a wasted friend call the dining room set my mother bought me cheap and proceeded to try and break it by kicking. He failed, but I was very surprised he chose to actually try and break it. Who goes through someone's house and tries to break their crap, wasted or not? That it's common courtesy to say thank you after receiving help or service from someone else. Even if they just did their job, thank the goddamn cashiers, bus drivers, and doctors of this world. I remember thanking my dentist after he'd taken out my wisdom teeth. He was surprised. Apparently no other patient had ever thanked him while still leaking blood out of their mouth. Like it's not his fault these teeth didn't fit in my mouth, but he got them out. Thank you for that, sir. When you're in the elevator with a group of people and get to the bottom, and it opens and a handful of people lurch forward to get in, now we are standing there face to face in gridlock. During this moment, you say to yourself, how long until they realize they are the ones who have to move or you're not going to get out of this elevator ever? Then you look to see a surprise sweep over their face, and then they move back. Phones should be on mute in public places, especially the crib room at work. No one wants to hear the video you are watching while we're trying to eat. Wow, glad I'm not the only one. It's been getting down to 10 degrees here, so I ditched eating in the car for the break room and found we have a gentleman who will play his stupid news show on blast through his phone speakers in a silent room of about 15 people. If it weren't for COVID, I would suggest you do what we did many years ago. Get a couple of friends, pull up some chairs, and really crowd around this guy staring intently at his screen the whole time. Provide commentary on what's happening, and then when he asks, "What the frick? Oh, it's so loud, I thought it was for everyone." Turn signals. They're meant to be a warning, not an afterthought, not an unwritten rule. This one is actually a law. Offer a glass of water to anyone providing physically stressful service at your place. E.g., furniture delivery guy. Lots of people assume that they're just doing their job, but that doesn't mean you forget basic human courtesy. You can always tell that nobody else has offered as well, because there is usually an exasperated and surprised, "Yes, please." Got a new bed last week and offered the two blokes a drink. They said nobody ever offers and gratefully accepted a pot of tea. I actually had a manager bitch at me about offering tradespeople drinks when I worked in retail, as if the multinational company I worked for could not afford to have good manners or something. On the flip side, my old manager encouraged us to tell vendors to take a fountain drink with them. Also, cops get free coffee. The more they're in there for coffee, the less likely the store will be robbed. If someone is paying for your food, don't order something expensive. Waving when someone lets you in traffic. I also say thank you just in case they have excellent hearing. Same. Then I realize it and just feel like an idiot. People that ask questions every third scene in a movie when it will be explained later. Hey, why is this character doing this thing? Just keep watching and you'll see. 10 minutes later. So now what's this character doing that for? Just keep watching and you'll see. 30.5 seconds later. Hey, why is he doing that now? Just watch the movie and these questions won't be necessary, I promise you. If someone says they're not drinking tonight, don't make them feel bad or imply that they're being boring. Normalize this. People have numerous reasons why they don't drink for an evening or ever, but the one thing that's certain is it's no one else's freaking business. When someone is helping you move, you offer them pizza and a drink. No exceptions. If they don't drink, offer them soda or water. Preferably a tank of gas also, considering they're probably driving a pickup truck that's gonna need a good bit to get from the old place to the new place. Close your mouth when chewing. The sound of someone chomping their food and all those slurping sounds they make and sometimes saliva flying out of their mouth is disgusting. No one wants to hear that crap. For some, including myself, such noises can even trigger anxiety or violent thoughts. This is known as misophonia, and it made going to a sit-down restaurant hell until I invested in a nice pair of noise-canceling headphones. Don't block the footpaths. If you're waiting for something, move it off to the side. We're not obligated to walk around you because you have an ego. Or the people that walk side by side and take up a whole sidewalk and won't shift when people are trying to get by. Like you don't need to march 5 people side by side down the sidewalk. It's not a parade. Hold the door open for the person behind you if they're close, at least long enough to prevent the door from being slammed shut in their face. Especially if they just had the door held open for them. Baffles the mind when I hold the door open for someone and they just slip through and the person behind them has to reopen it, especially if it's a particularly heavy door. Asking couples when they're going to have kids. Not every couple wants or can have kids. Also, miscarriages and stillbirths happen. The couple you are asking may be mourning a child they never got to raise. Headphones in means don't talk to me. Conversely, if you come to me and want to talk, take the earbuds out. I don't care if they are off or on transparent mode or whatever, leaving them in sends the message that you may want to talk but you don't want to listen. If you aren't friends with someone anymore, it doesn't mean you can go around telling their secrets to everyone. Secrets are secrets and under no condition shall they be broken. It's truly disgusting to see how people don't realize this. It's a basic knowledge that you should know, though it hasn't been made an actual rule. This also applies to dating. Don't start going around saying crap that they told you in confidence. I hate having conversations in public transportation when nobody else is talking. God, this makes me feel like I'm on a failing sitcom or something. Turning over someone else's cards at the poker table. When a man uses the middle urinal when you're using either the first or last urinal. Man, the second urinal is for separation only. Oh God, I thought that was just comedy sketch stuff. I assure you it's not. There's always a that guy who wants to be your pee buddy in an otherwise empty line of urinals. Pointing out awkward situations. If it wasn't awkward before, it definitely is now. Half the time, it's not even awkward. They just feel the need to awkwardly fill the silence. If the light is green but there's no room for you across the intersection, you don't go and sit in the middle of traffic. This is actually law, at least here in New York. If you're in a theater with plenty of available seats, don't sit right next to a total stranger. If you're out at a restaurant, party, or event with someone, don't offer any criticisms about their appearance unless they can actually change it. Oh, thank you for pointing out the spot I missed shaving. I'll just spend the rest of the night thinking about it and how I can do nothing about it. I've heard this referred to as the 30-second rule. Durations vary, but the gist of it is that you shouldn't comment on anything about someone's personal appearance that they can't fix in 30 seconds. I live in New York City, and I take the subway to and from work. Two things. One, when the train is arriving and you're on the platform, not only do you have to wait for people to get off the train first, you have to step to the side to actually allow people room to get off the train. Two, if you're on the train and the train pulls into the platform, please step off the train and onto the platform and to the side. This will allow room for the people crammed into the middle of the train car to have room to get off. Do not just stand there looking at your phone blocking the door, because if you do, then a very small Hispanic woman that is about 4'11" and about 90 pounds will hit you hard and push you out of the way. Standing on the right side and walking on the left on an escalator, making it international, standing on one side of the escalator and walking on the other. Bathroom door closed equals occupied. Bathroom door open wide equals available. Bathroom door slightly ajar with exhaust fan running equals enter at your own risk. The words please and thank you. If I'm turning away from you, I'm trying to walk away. Stop continuing to bring up new conversation points. When your motorcycle is 160 decibels, maybe don't drive around the same block 35 times per day. Don't take the last of something without asking. Had gooey butter cookies I brought home when visiting family. I know they're impossible to stop eating, so I guess it's my fault. Offered roommates some when I left and came back and they were all gone. Never even got one. Also, if you finish something and replace it with the exact same thing. An old roommate of mine once finished up my fancy $15 olive oil and replaced it with Goya. My roommate once had a party while I was out. Used up a whole 2-liter bottle of generic brand diet ginger ale I had in the fridge. I don't know why, maybe a guest opened it, but I'm not sure. She messaged me that she would replace it. She replaced it with the Pepsi brand. It was unfortunate because to her, she upgraded my ginger ale, but I hate the aftertaste in that diet pop. Try your best to make sure there isn't a third wheel in your group. It really sucks to be in that position. I have been the third wheel many times and it sucks. When we talk in a group, I try to talk with the people that get ignored because I know how that feels. Don't comment on how a stranger looks. Yesterday, in a cafe, a man I've never met before said, "You need to trim a bit." Rude. Let people enjoy silence. Silence is only awkward when the stupid friend in your group says it is. I get this all the time at work. I work with 2 other people who like to talk, and if I have been quiet with my own thoughts for a bit, I will get a random, "What's wrong? Why are you so quiet?" Nothing was wrong, but now you've made a deal out of it and I feel awkward and self-conscious. that you should talk to people about things that involve them. My favorite is people that don't even ask about your life or show any interest in you and just talk 100% about themselves. Even better when you quit talking and see how long they go just spewing bullcrap before they realize they're talking to themselves about themselves. If you are in a group of friends and you're going to do something together, but not everyone is invited or going, don't bring it up. Oh man, a few of my friends have done that to me a couple of times recently, and it isn't a good feeling. The first time, they claimed that they thought they already had invited me after I mentioned that I was upset about being excluded. Didn't buy that excuse. Second time, they were courteous enough to try and hide their plans from me, but they were also dumb, so I caught them yet again. Oh, and I work with them too. So to top it off, this time they were actually asking me to stay late 2 hours past my shift and close for them so they could go hang out together. Honestly, I thought I had a pretty good relationship with those dudes, so it was pretty devastating to feel like that was actually not the case. We are now cordial to each other, but we are no longer friends. People don't like being made to feel second class, especially not from those who are supposed to be there for you as friends. I'm a grown man, but that crap made me cry a little. Please don't ever do this crap to your friends. If you have a trolley full of things and the person behind you only has 1 or 2 things, just let them go through first. What difference does waiting a few extra seconds make to you? I lived in the Netherlands for a while, and they almost always let me go first if I had 1 to 2 items. In Canada, never. Turn signals. Sad thing is that it's a written rule and it's still ignored. Saying "excuse me" when you get in or need to get in someone's way or pass by. It used to be a rule, but was lost over time. Everyone should know not to speak negatively about a coworker. A job is a big deal. Losing it can be devastating. One complaint could alter a person's life in a negative way. I worked on a team that had a motto of "go to the source." You were expected to talk directly with the person that you had a problem with. Somebody wearing headphones isn't a sign that they're lonely and want to talk. More specifically, if somebody is wearing headphones, leave them alone. It actually annoys me when people expect me to magically know unspoken rules. Yeah, autistic here taking notes. Common sense and courtesy aside, rules you're supposed to just know are really annoying. If it mattered, say the thing in advance. When you're at the counter or drive-thru of a business such as a bank, fast food, or pharmacy, put down your cell phone. Not only is it incredibly rude, but you could be ignoring questions or comments that are for your safety. Don't rope off the sidewalk with your dog leash. Control your children. Don't let them run around in restaurants or movie theaters going nuts. If you can't keep them quiet, don't bring them, unless it's an event specifically for very young kids, like Chuck E. Cheese or a Disney cartoon-type film. And especially at supermarkets, be aware of them. No one wants your maskless, nose-picking brat playing with the product or poking holes in the packaged meats with its dirty fingers while you gab on the phone and pretend not to notice. Australian. Stick to the left of the road, the footpath, and the escalator. Just stay left. Don't touch my wheelchair. I cannot tell you how many times I've been shopping in the grocery store and someone has just rolled me out of their way instead of saying "excuse me," or once rolled me out of the store to find my mommy. I was 26. Well, that's infuriatingly condescending. The mask should cover your mouth and nose. Wipe down any gym equipment you use, including yoga mats and foam rollers. Lower your voice. Read the room and modulate your volume. If you're only one of 2 tables in a very small cafe or restaurant, you don't have to shout, "I'm 2 feet away." Clean all the snow off of your car, not just the snow on your windshields. The snow blows off the top of your car into the windshield of the car behind you. Technically, this is a spoken rule, as it's the law in my state, but nobody talks about it and nobody follows it. If you smoke, don't smoke right outside the entrance to the building. Not only are you in the way, but everyone coming in or out gets a face full of smoke. Move out of the way. In traffic, polite driving is observing right of way and not letting people pass when they don't have it. It seems polite to you, but it's confusing and frustrating even to the person you're letting in. Don't watch TikTok on speaker in public. If I'm in the aisle of a bookstore and trying to get past your mountain-sized backpack, take the damn thing off. Edging forward 1 inch doesn't help at all. Not everyone is a hugger. A girl I used to work with was a hugger. I'm not. In fact, I hate being touched by strangers, and even with people I love, I have a limit. Don't pet a dog without asking the owner. Don't assume every dog on a walk or out in public is friendly. I've had a dog that hated strangers touching them. I explained this dog hates people touching them. People touched and was shocked and called her a bad dog and me a bad owner for her growling when I said she doesn't like strangers. I shouldn't have to train my dog to enjoy interactions with people she does not know. You wouldn't like a stranger towering over you and touching you or your kids. My other dogs are tolerant. This one is not. She doesn't need to be forced into it. Respect her space. Respect her feelings. Dogs are not public property and give plenty of signals to show their displeasure. Lip licking, turning head away, whale eye, hard stare, yawn, ears pinned back, tail up straight and body stiff, or tail tucked between legs and body stiff. She is not untrained. You just don't know dog language. If you're out with a group of friends, don't just do whatever you want. Make sure to ask each and every person in the group what they want to do and try to do all of them so that everyone has a good time. If you have too much background noise, mute your mic. Turn on your headlights when your windshield wipers are on, even if it's in the daytime. Clear the time on the microwave. The flow of traffic at malls and other crowded spaces. It's literally driving rules. Stop walking against the flow of traffic. People who expect you to be free childcare for them as you are a woman. I can't tell you how much this pisses me off. Yes, Kevin, I have ovaries, but that doesn't mean I want to give up my free time so that you can go out drinking as you need it. You don't have the money to pay for a babysitter. Your choice to have kids, so they are your responsibility. I have zero sympathies, buddy. Don't take a bite of your chip and then try to get more dip on it. No double dipping. Never assume a woman is pregnant and comment on it if she doesn't mention it first, no matter how big her belly is. And if you know she is pregnant, never assume that you can touch her belly. Don't even ask. People who take one step off of the top of the up escalator and just stand there dumbly, making everyone behind them plow into each other. That you shouldn't stare at people for too long. Not following the restroom urinal rules. It's really annoying and uncomfortable when someone doesn't follow it. I don't care how friendly your dog is. Use a leash. The leash is for your dog's protection too, not just the protection of others. Oh, he wouldn't hurt anyone and loves other dogs. First off, I've been attacked by dogs that wouldn't hurt anyone. Second, that other dog may hate other dogs and tear your lovely dog's throat out. You just don't know. I love dogs, but I'm a realist. You don't know what will set any dog off, and you don't know what another dog will do. Leash. Don't park behind someone's driveway. When you're in line at a coffee shop or fast food restaurant, don't stand there for 15 minutes trying to think of what to order. If you're not ready to order, then get out of the line. Make space for people to get out before you try to get in. Applies to things like elevators, buses, trains, even narrow parts of a road, and everywhere that is pretty full already in general. Pretty sure this is specific to Australia, but walking on the left. People who walk on the right side of the footpath or take up the whole thing with large groups and then walk really slow pisses me off so much. After you finish loading your groceries on the belt and there's someone in line after you, place the divider for the next person to start loading their groceries. On a plane, aisle seat gets easy access to the bathroom and suitcases. Window seat gets the view. Middle seat gets both armrests. The "if you can't say something nice, be quiet" rule, closely followed by the "don't talk with your mouth full or eat with your mouth open" rules. If the bus or train is crowded, please give up your seat for the elderly and disabled. Don't touch my dog. Even with a labeled dog, they still try. When my girlfriend wants to spend time with me, so we decide on a movie or show to watch, and then she just sits on her phone the entire time. So then I'm like, I think I'm gonna play some video games or something, and she's like, oh, I thought we were hanging out. If you're on your phone the whole time, it feels like I'm watching this show all by myself. Giving people personal space, which I thought would go away during COVID-19, and potentially the only good thing coming out of it. If someone in the room is directly speaking to you, put down your phone. Conversely, if I'm on my phone, don't just start into a full-blown conversation expecting me to drop it and give immediate undivided attention. At least give me a warning. You should walk like you drive. Stay to the right or left depending on where you are, and if you need to stop, pull over. Also, never stand in a doorway or the top of the stairs. You wouldn't park on a highway exit. Loud keyboard sound from mobile phone and excessive speed typing. I'll never understand why anybody would turn that on, let alone on max volume. Wait till everyone gets off the elevator before you get on. When at the same door on opposite sides, the person exiting goes first. If someone offers you a piece of their cake, you do not take the strawberry on top of the cake. Always knock on the bathroom door before trying to enter. Be polite to service workers and generally anyone who works for pennies to essentially keep modern life running. Please rack your weights and put back anything you use while at the gym. This goes for you too, ladies. Leave a shared space cleaner than you found it. Wear a mask when you're in public. Don't ask people you barely know about their relationship status or sexuality. Mind your own business, period. Unless I have asked or opened myself up to you, it's not your business. I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to share, I don't want your input. Assume we're strangers. If you open up and I don't reciprocate, that's okay. I'll be polite if you are. Not everyone needs to be friends with everyone else. If you are a tourist, don't stand in the middle of the sidewalk, but make space for other people so they don't have to wait for you to finish your Instagram picture. If you borrow someone's car, return it with a full tank of gas. Freaking hate getting up to go to work and my car's on E. Thanks for watching until the end. Do you know of an unspoken rule that we didn't mention in this video? Please mention it in the comments below. Then be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when our next video is available. For more videos like this one right now, please stop by our channel. Thanks again and see you next time.